big freeze in Pigland. Whew, boy, it had been one doozy of a week to kick off the new year, 2018. Blizzard, cold, wind, floods, a chaos of frozen cars in the high school parking lot. But out in the barnyard, it has been a similarly tough week. New Year's Day was the harbinger of things to come as the wind and cold moved in and camped in Gloucester, turning our naive, warm, harmless December into a survival of the fittest primer. Now, before the snow, the joke was just on me. That is, the poops were frozen to the ground when I shoveled, and I could no longer just scoop them right into my shovel and into the bucket. No, now they had to be pulverized from the side with the shovel, then laborious scraped up one by one, so frozen that they crunched and tumbled into the metal of the blade. The animals, particularly the piggies, thought this was so funny. They hung around with grins spread wide on their faces, as if they had just posted it on the web with a big selfie. Their built-in climate thermostats have caused them to grow their hair extra long for a cold winter this year. So up until now, they had been mainly laughing and winking off the weather. But after the snow came the real cold. Supreme cold it was. They huddled together in the goats' room, which was good strategy, as their bulk grouping seemed to keep them toasty, even on those ridiculously cold nights. We had to tie the Dutch doors shut because the big goofy goat kept opening the door to the cold to see what he was missing, as goats are wont to do. But the snow was a different story. Drifting raised the snow level inside their paddock so that we had to step down 3 feet to get into the inside pen. Delivering buckets of grain to some, hay to others, and water to everyone became an Olympic sport in our house. The goat will not give you time to maneuver around the doors and narrow clearances, while the piggies and the chickens swarm at your feet for their expectant chow. Sometimes you become immobile, unable to go forward or back while locked up with the members of the impatient flock. We're like Greco-Roman wrestlers, immovable, pasted together, struggling forward, me, or back, them. Hay flies round, and pellets rain to the ground of their grain feed, which causes the goat to break off after them, paradoxically freeing me. Every day is a pitched battle just like this. Often, they are their own worst enemies to getting fed on time. The donkey seems to want to yell at the others, "Let 'em in already so we can eat!" But with the snow everywhere, all 18 feathery or fuzzy souls are forced to eat in the same space, which is one crazy whirlpool of mad eating, crunching, and slurping. One of us has to stay in and referee until they have finished, a totally thankless task. You see, our pink younger prodigy pig, Iggy, she vacuums up her food and immediately turns to the slower, older pig, Hamlet's bowl. Hamlet always gives way, but we won't let him. One of us must stand guard over Iggy to block her end runs around all sides of Hamlet's perch. Keeping a large flat poop shovel at the ready is just the thing for blocking the Igster. By simply swinging it pendulum style while holding the handle confuses the aggressive porker. She can't make up her mind which side to run around the swinging pendulum, and she keeps changing her mind from second to second. This side, that side. No, it is really quite amusing to see Iggy's thought process in dealing with this blind spot in her pig radar. She's like a kid who can't decide whether to eat the ice cream cone in his right hand or the lollipop in his left hand. Her attention keeps shifting from side to side, just like the kid with the candy. Meanwhile, Hamlet gets to finish his leisurely meal. Ha ha ha! It's psychological warfare out there, I'm telling you. Me versus the pigs and goats. Well, food has a way of bringing out the best and the worst of animals, especially when feeding them in close quarters. In normal times, they are pretty respectful of the other guy's bowl. But in extremis winteratus, they are not. Nor were they in Snowmageddon 3 winters ago. This felt like a mini repeat version of that trying period. Many of the same challenges, just less snow. But now, like then, we had to learn a range of new skills to cope with the animals and our survival. Some, like the tableau of me locked and loaded with food, locked like surging linemen in football and battling for supremacy to get past the goat, are funny. But others, like perpetually frozen water bowls and buckets and lugging jugs out from the house to concerned, upturned piggy faces, are not. But one thing is certain. There will be spring someday. There will be a time when there is green grass and lazy, boring barnyard afternoons spent watching a pig scratching his butt against a rock. It'll come again. I keep telling them. I'm not sure if they believe me, but fear not. This too, Gloucester, shall pass.